Hey guys, it is Cyclone. How are you all doing today? If you are looking at this video, it's a follow-up to a little gameplay demonstration I did on my last video, and I'm going into more detail about how I've built an Iron Bear build for Mayhem 4. This is pretty good, guys, and it's good at mob clearing. It's not great against bosses because of shielding. So just keep that in mind. For shield damage, it's not ideal, but you could switch out Iron Bear with the railgun to do a little bit more shield damage if desired. There are ways around it. However, for mobbing, this is a pretty good build. And I'm just going to show you a couple of key things. So we're going to start with some of the gear that I use. Now, primarily, we want Iron Bear to be active as much as possible. So one of the things that I'm going to be doing is using a cooldown reduction anointment right here. I have a duck and it has that 30% cooldown increase. So I'm going to be primarily using this weapon outside of Iron Bear. So just keep that in mind. Our goal is to try and kill normal mobs with this gun as much as possible. In addition, I have a couple of anointed gear. I have this God tier COV pistol, triple with the additional fire damage after action skill. This is an amazing gun. It clears mobs like crazy. Of course, shielding is a little bit harder to get through, but that's just the reality of the situation. I have a really good pattern black here. I have this really nice calipine if I have an enemy that I want to use crit on. Another option. I have other gear that I could use, but primarily we're going to be using something with that cooldown reduction, and the duck for me is just an efficient item for said purpose. Now, of course, we're going with a transformer. I have the awesome anointed Iron Bear one here. This is probably the best shield in the game because it has that 75% bonus, and that just really helps you. Now here's where actually I got to change my grenade. This is actually kind of up to you. Now, I have this cloning gas call. It's one of the best grenades in the game. However, while I'm in Iron Bear, you could also use something like this. Now, as you saw in my previous video, this type of grenade does not always work. It's supposed to be firing 20% of the time you take. You have a 20% chance while taking Iron Bear damage to spawn one of these grenades, and it will spawn from Iron Bear. So while I'm using Iron Bear, my grenades should be also being thrown. Doesn't always work, and I hope Gearbox fixes this. It really does hurt the build when it doesn't work. But if you can find a good grenade with this anointment, hold on to it. You definitely want this. The reason I have this one is because it just fires 5 rubberized fire mines, and that just covers the field in fire damage. So again, this helps with my clear speed and just doing some DOT, damage over time, for those who don't understand what that means. Now this is where the build really comes into its own. You need a very good roll on stainless steel bear. This is very important. If you get it on the armor bear trooper, which is what I have, this is exactly the type of mod you're looking for. Mine has bonus pistol damage that helps with the duck, and it also just really increases your Iron Bear's survivability, which is the whole point of this build, is to be an Iron Bear as long as possible. So you really want to look for something like this. This is key. If you're a PC player, you can probably hack a save file and get something like this, or something even better than mine. I play legit, guys, 100% legit. I don't use any codes or cheats or hacks or anything. So this is all in-game that I found. And we have, for the artifact, I'm considering this one for now because it has magazine, ignite, and action skill cooldown. All the 3 things that I'm looking for. However, I could go with something that has more area damage to maybe get kills a little bit faster. But I'm going to see how this works, and perhaps this is going to be the type of combination I'm looking for. Now, let's go over to the skill tree. And this is where people were getting curious. I saw a comment asking, what is the skill tree for this? I mean, I don't know how to do it. Well, this is how I do it. By now, most people know how to build Moes. It's not really a mystery that there are certain skills that are just much better than others. What you might be surprised to see is how far down of bottomless mags I'm going with this build. You might think, oh, why aren't you going down Shield of Retribution more? Well, let me explain. So first of all, we're doing Cloud of Lead, of course. You know, it's because we're doing damage with Iron Bear, and this just helps Iron Bear's DPS. We're then going, again, more Incendiary. We're doing that Stoke the Embers. Again, this is very straightforward. Nothing surprising here. Again, redistribution. I want that ammo for when I'm not an Iron Bear. This is a great little skill to pick up for 1 point. It's wonderful. If you can get this skill, you really should, because this helps with your ammo regen. And I have 1 in Scrappy because it just helps with some performance. Then we have +5 into Scorching RPM because the critical hit bonus is very important. You're going to be aiming for headshots with Iron Bear. That's really the key here. If you can get those headshots, they're going to double the damage. And then we have Specialist Bear. You definitely want this too. We're going all in with Iron Bear, so take this. Now, I could have gone with Iron Bank. I could have put a point or 2 into Iron Bank, but as Moes, I am not focusing as much on Moses' damage. So I'm saving that. I'll show you where I put it. If I go into Shield of Retribution, we're going +5 to Armored Infantry. This helps while I'm not an Iron Bear stay alive and give me some bonus damage. Then I have Security Bear. This is really important. Look at how 50% of the max health is added as shields. And guys, my max health is crazy. I'll show you when I'm in Iron Bear. And I'll show you how long it lasts before I actually engage in combat. It's absurd. Then we're going to go with the Thin Red Line. Again, this is a great tanky skill. And then Vladov Ingenuity. Again, great tankiness skill while I'm not an Iron Bear. Then we go with Experimental Munitions. So again, see where I'm going with the crit damage? You want that crit damage. Make sure you get those for Iron Bear's shots. And then I put 1 point in Desperate Measures because by this point I only had 1 point to spend. But there's a reason for that. I also put points into Demolition. And as you see here, I put 1 into this. Now again, you could do more, but there's a reason to my madness, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. I wanted Deadliness. I need to drain less fuel shooting weapons. So I maxed this out. Then I have 3 points into Grizzled to help with my action skill, because the action skill for Iron Bear is quite long. So this just helps with my getting Iron Bear back. You see how I balanced this first row? I wanted a little bit more cooldown reduction. Again, I could put these 3 points elsewhere if I desired, but in mobbing, I want Iron Bear to be more available than not. So this helps in getting Iron Bear back, and that's the whole point. Now, here's the killer. 9 points into Stainless Steel Bear. Look at my stats. Increased armor, increased fuel, and increased damage. This is arguably the best combat-based Iron Bear skill. And look at those stats. 36% fuel, 54% armor, and 36% damage. Huge rolls for Iron Bear. Then I put 2 into Means of Destruction. This is just helpful when, again, I'm not an Iron Bear. It helps with my sustainability. I have 1 point into Holy Pin, because when I'm launching grenades with this, I want those crits to happen. And then 1 point into Vampire, because it helps with survivability. Now with my class mod, I have 1 point into Explosive Punctuation. When Moes deals splash damage, her action skill cooldown rate is briefly increased. So and then that's the skill tree. There it is. I went over it in detail for you. And the loadout. So now, let's go play around. I'm in the Ambermire, which is a fun little place to just show things off. We have our duck out, And I have 5 rounds in this magazine now with the increased magazine size. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. What? Hold on a minute. Give me a second here. Does it only have 2 rounds only? Well, that's not right. Well, it's 5 because it's only 40%. That's right. Yeah, that's true. Well, 1 extra shot's 1 extra shot, so it is what it is. Again, I can change my artifact. It's not necessary, but just to show you what this does for Iron Bear, take a look here. Ready? Look at my fuel. Look at my health, my armor. 82,693. So 41,000 shield for my security bear, if I'm not mistaken. Hang on, let me just double check that. Yep. So I have 82,000 health and 41,000 shield. So just to give you a sense of how incredible Stainless Steel Bear is. And look at the fuel. I'm going to start running and jumping, and look at this. No problem at all. Absolutely no problem. The fuel's like not even going down while I'm jumping around. It's fine. I can be in here for like 2 minutes. I actually haven't done a stopwatch timer, but I believe this is about, I think it's going to be about 2 minutes. Maybe more. Well, I have to time it, but you can see how good it is. Now, even if I was at 50%, see this? Like, you're like, uh-oh, I'm running out of fuel. Not really. Let me show you. Where are you? Oh, the grenades are working for a change. It's amazing. See this? Oh, now here's an interesting issue. Armored enemies. Now these guys run very fast, and also they're kind of spread out, which is annoying. For the purpose of this demonstration, like a better place for this build is something like Athena's. But like, now here's an interesting, see this guy here? This is a problem for the build. Armor, yellow armor. Now, what I like to do is alternate shots. And again, I want that, and you can throw a couple of grenades out if you want as Moe's, it's not a big deal. So that's how that works. I'll sell that. I want these, Oh, well, you guys are... Dude! See the damage, though? It's like, it's pretty good damage. It really is. So, let's keep going here. Now, oh, I forgot to show off which, hang on. I forgot to show one important thing. I gotta show you what I'm using for Iron Bear, for the weapons. So we're going with minigun, as you notice, and we're also going with exploding bullets. You see that damage buff? It's lower fuel, it's lower fire rate, but higher damage. And because Moze is good at area damage, it also hurts enemies around your target. And when you're critting enemies, because we're focusing on crit enough, these bullets actually do a great job at clear speed. So I use the exploding bullets. Again, you can switch out railgun. You have some good options with the build because we're going about 60%, 70% down every tree. So look we have almost all available options per tree. There's not really a deficit anywhere. So if you want to use a different weapon, go ahead. But I'm finding these exploding bullets to be a good option. And again, like, critting is ideal, but even if you don't, like, that still damages them too, see that? So, you can damage groups over time a little bit with this, and it just helps. Now, again, that yellow bar, it might be worth investing in a corrosive grenade. Which my grenade is actually not spawning right now because it's bugged. But once the health bar is down, you see that? Oh, dude, if only the grenade worked. See, that's the problem. Gearbox, please, for the love of everything, fix that bug. I really want my grenades to be launching right now. It's really crucial for the build, and they just don't. Oh, look at this. There we go. Now, I'm going to run out of fuel. You can't regenerate the fuel like this. So I'm going to get out, save a little bit of cooldown time. Now, if I was in this situation, right, it's not ideal. But
serving up fresh hot dish.
All right, so that should help my cooldown a little bit. I see my Iron Bear's back. I'm using my gun, and then it's back. Hopefully the grenades work this time. They're not working. I'm so annoyed right now. I want my grenade, Gearbox! Damn it! Why doesn't it work? Come on, man. Like, that guy would have been dead so much quicker with the grenade out. It's like, I'm nerfed when this happens, and that is annoying, I will say. So just note that you are going to experience some bugginess with this build, and I hope they fix it. That's all. Like when I'm outside of Iron Bear again, I'm gonna... Actually, let me do that now. I'm gonna re-equip my grenade, and hopefully that resets the whole issue. And I don't know why this happens. I'm very confused. Like, maybe when I throw grenades, it actually ruins it. Like, let me just throw out a new grenade. Throw out one of these. And then I'm gonna maybe switch back and see if this works. I'm not gonna throw any of these. I'm just gonna not throw my grenade. Which is like a habit of Moe's. You're supposed to throw grenades as Moe's. And it doesn't always work. Let's see.
Get over here, dickweed. Pick the wrong fight.
What? What was that? Yo! I'm done. What the hell was that? Do you see that? Oh, dude, what the hell? Oh my goodness, it bugged out of getting into Iron Bear. What was that, dude? Fucking level geometry or some crap. Oh my goodness, man. Now for here, I want to be spamming my friggin' grenade, but I'm trying to test something. I want to see if this resets the Iron Bear grenade. Damn. Oh shit, that's not a good idea. That's a very bad idea. Okay, let's see if it works now. Ready? Okay, the grenade came out. See that? Alright, so the grenade is coming out. Oh! There we go. Now you see the build working in action. Here we go. I want to get some good gameplay of this now. Let's take on a badass. Look at that. So guys, that is going to do it. And I just wanted to show you. I'm going through a little bit of a painful experience with that bug on the grenade, but otherwise, that's the build, guys. Cyclone signing out.